Back it up. Do you get the 950 or do you get the 960? Is this the upgrade or is this the downgrade? Well, before we jump into the box, let me tell you a few things or key differences. On the 950, this guy has longer battery life. Also, the app allows you to save multiple floor plans. On the 960, there's a front-facing camera. This is a new feature because you can avoid shoes and shoelaces. So, if you want to have a set-and-forget robot and not worry about having to get tangled up, the 960 is for you. Okay, let's go ahead and get the unboxing going. 2, 3. That's my favorite sound in the world. Alright, looks like we have the LiDAR sensors more towards the rear, whereas some robot vacuums have it more towards the center here. But what I did notice is this has a physical bump sensor. So if it has low-hanging furniture, the robot will know when to back up. Very nice feature. This was on the Roborock S6 as well. Alright, here's a quick look at the inside. You got your dustbin, you got your power switch, you have a Wi-Fi indicator, reset button, all the goodies. Oh no, it's broken! Here's a quick look underneath the robot. You got your traditional charging contacts, dual side brush, the extractor bar, and your 2 adjustable wheels and the mopping attachment down below. Let's see what else is in the box. You got your mopping pad. I'm a huge fan of really good packaging and Ecovacs nailed it. Good job. Like Ecovacs laid out all the accessories very nice. It says accessory box up here. You got a blank box, you got your side brushes, your charger dock down here, and you got your charging cable. Alright, let's go ahead and start from the top here. Okay, so in this accessory box we have the instruction manual. We have an extra filter, very nice. Extra mopping pad, this is washable. And we have a suction only inlet, great for if you just want to do hardwood floors and pick up light debris. Extra side brushes here. Alright, let's go to the next accessory box. Got some additional side brushes. I do like that they're color coded so you can't mix them up. Up top here is our power cable. There's the charger, very similar to the 950, and I like the fact that you can wrap the cable around. Let's quick look at everything that's included. You got the charger, you got your power cable, you also have the inlet only suction port, an extra air filter, 2 washable mopping pads, the robot itself, and you got 2 sets of side brushes. Okay, let's go ahead and compare the 960 with the 950. The Ozmo 950 is no slouch. It has a couple tricks up its sleeve. The best thing about the Ozmo 950 is the battery life. It has a 5200 mAh battery, so it can run for 200 minutes. On its low power suction, that's just mind blowing. That's over 3 hours. Now, on its high power suction, the 24 CFM of power, it can run for 2.5 hours. I'm still mind blown. That's equivalent to the Roborock S6, and that can only do it on its low power mode. Both of these guys have a recharge and resume, and this takes about 3 to 4 hours, where this guy takes 5 to close to 6 hours. Both the chargers are the same. They have an output of 20 volts, 1 amp, and they accept 100 volts to 240 volts, so you can take these guys overseas and use them in Europe, Asia, wherever you like to go. Take a look at the front of the robots. The 960 has that front-facing camera, and they have the infrared sensors on both the robots. Also, they have that physical bump sensor, so they can physically detect their objects. So one person down in the comments said that the Ozmo series tends to be a little bit aggressive. They actually tested it on their channel, and I did look at the videos, and I think yes, it may be a little aggressive. But one thing to note is these robot vacuums, even though they have LiDAR, don't actually use the LiDAR to navigate around the object, kind of like the Roborock series. They actually do rely on their physical bump sensors and infrared sensors. There may be a fine line between how aggressive the robot should be. So, for example, that low-hanging bed sheet, the robot should be a little aggressive and try to feel its way around, whereas on the Roborock, it will just treat that as a wall and completely avoid going under the bed. Okay, so let's have a look at the top of the robots. You may notice the different placements of the LiDAR sensor, and with any LiDAR-based robot vacuum, there's actually not completely centered. They're actually offset a little bit. The reason behind that is it helps with the navigation and calibration of the sensors. So if it was completely centered, it would have a hard time figuring out what's the front of the robot vacuum. So I like the 960's interface. You may notice that blue light there. Both of these are physical buttons, and you press it once to pause stop the robot, and you hold down for 3 seconds to have it go back home. Another nice thing is there's actually a QR code, so when you pair up the robot, all you have to do is just scan it with your camera phone, and it makes the pairing process a lot easier. No having to put in a serial number or select the correct robot. Very easy pairing process. Okay, let's go and see what's inside. So let's pop up the lid and spin them around. So here's where it gets interesting. You may notice the slight placement of the little cleaning tool here. I do like that fact that they include a cleaning tool and you can actually store it within the robot. So if you have a lot of hair on your extractors, you can just cut it off with this cutter tool down here, or you can scrape off the dust. Very handy. I love these types of tools. With the Ozmo 950 having the longer battery life, it also has a large dustbin at 450 milliliters. The water tank is also larger at 280 milliliters, whereas on the Ozmo 960, the water tank is 240 milliliters and the dustbin is 430 milliliters. So here's a quick look at the dustbins. Having the Ozmo 950 on the left here being a little bit larger than the 960 at 450 versus 430 milliliters. So you cannot interchange the dustbins nor the filters. So both robots have the same placement of the power switch and the Wi-Fi button. So if you need to pair up your robot, just hold down that button for 1 second and it's easy to pair up. Also, there's a secret door here. Okay, so there's the look of that special port. Alright, let's go ahead and compare the size of the robots. Let's have a quick spin around the robots. You may notice that they're very similar and there's no dedicated wall sensor like on the Roborock series. But these robots do a really good job with staying along the baseboards. Let's go ahead and get these guys flipped over. The 960, 950, up front here they're very similar. They have dual side brushes and they're color coded. You got your charging contacts, but you may notice on the 960 the charging contacts slightly larger. You also have the front wheel caster, slight change in the front wheel caster here, and they all have cliff sensors. This guy has 1, 2, 3 cliff sensors, whereas the Ozmo 950 actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cliff sensors. So there's a lot more cliff sensors on the 950. 960 only has 3, so hopefully it doesn't fall down the stairs. Let's have a look at the extractor bar. I do find that on the 950 the extractor bar is easier to remove, just kind of pinch the sides. So on the 960 I find these little tabs a little bit harder to press in. Have a look at the 2 extractor bars. You may notice on the 950 that the extractor bar is slightly longer, but they are combo style, so they have both bristles and a silicone. And you may notice the hair just kind of gets wrapped around the axles, but it does a fairly good job around the center of the bar where it doesn't get the hair wrapped around. Okay, so let's look at the back of the robots. Both these robots have electronically controlled water mopping attachment, so they can control the water flow and you can adjust the water output via the app. But you may notice on the 950 that the water reservoir is a little bit larger. You guys, a quick look here. The water reservoirs are pretty easy to remove. So they look very similar in terms of width and height, but you may notice that the depth is a little bit bigger on the 950, so it holds more water. Okay, I'm going to get the Ozmo 960 ready for the mopping challenge. Also, I'm going to have it pick up some plastic beads and see how well it can navigate different obstacles like socks and shoes, since this has a front-facing camera. The setup process is very straightforward. You just fill up the water tank. Also, you just slap on the mopping pad. This is a washable mopping pad. You can also buy disposable mopping pads, which came with the Ozmo 950. The mopping pad's held on by 4 Velcro strips, which holds the mopping pad in place pretty well. It actually took some force to remove the mopping pad, but over time I think the Velcro would get weaker and make it a little bit easier. Next, you just slide on a plastic plate to the water module. So take care of the orientation and align up the pins with the water tank. Make sure that it's in the proper direction or it won't mop properly. One thing to note is I did have to pre-wet the mopping pad like I do with the Roborock S5. Because this system uses electronically controlled water flow, so it can pre-wet the mopping pad as it starts its mopping job. Okay, once you have everything in place, the robot will let you know that the mopping module is installed and you're ready to start mopping. So it looks like the Osmo's 960's front-facing camera is working really well. It actually shows on the map what it detected, and it shows like a little icon. So you can toggle that on and off if you want to see what obstacles the robot detected with its camera. It's called the AI button. I like to compare the Osmo's navigation to the Roomba. It does a back and forth cleaning pattern, and if it encounters an object, it will incorporate the object in its back and forth cleaning pattern. Okay, we'll see how well it does with socks. So at the time of filming, the current firmware version 1.5.7 doesn't support cables, so the robot didn't recognize the cables, but hopefully Ecovacs will incorporate that in a newer update, but it does really well with the socks and shoes. I like the dual side brush design, but I think they spin a little fast, so maybe next time they can slow it down a bit so it doesn't scatter debris as much, but if you have the robot run multiple times, it usually picks up the majority of the mess. Okay, looks like it's done. It's gonna head back to its charger.
Cleaning is complete. Returning to the charging dock.
Which way is it gonna go? Okay, it looks like the 960 wants to take the long way around. Wants to play it safe and avoid those socks up there. But if it was like the Roborock, I think the Roborock is a little more aggressive and it will try to beeline straight back to its charger. But the Osmo 960 just takes the safe route, which isn't a bad thing. So the 960 is not a bad navigating robot. I would say it's on par with like the Roomba, like the i7 or S9. But I think they could use some improvement, especially along the edges of the wall. Seems to scatter debris a lot and miss a lot of spots. So maybe in later updates they can incorporate a perimeter sweep as well. So hopefully Ecovacs incorporates the multi-map saving mode and also the ability to create your own areas and be able to label them.
I'm starting to charge.
Okay, so we'll just do a quick look at how much the Osmo picked up, starting with the mopping pad.
I'm starting to charge.
Not too bad, a little dirty. And now we'll do the dustbin. So if you found this video helpful trying to determine which is the best robot vacuum for you, please smash the like button, helps me gauge if this video is popular or not. Also, if you're new to my channel, welcome, my name is Nathan. I do a lot of cool robot vacuum challenges, head to heads, I do cleaning tests, I do crazy tests, I also do unboxings, reviews. Also, stay tuned to my next video because I'm going to do the Osmo series versus the Roborock series and we'll see which hybrid robot vacuum is the best for you. Okay, you guys have a great rest of the day, I'll see you guys next time.